Now, very good afternoon to you. You're listening to Treasure Quest Extra Time. I am the Quest Master, and you may know from, I was talking about it earlier, and we mentioned it a bit in Treasure Quest itself, that Becky and Ian were being followed around today by some cameras, and they were cameras operated by Paul and Terry from Norwich Movie Makers, who join me in the studio now. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hello.
Hello. So, first of all, let's hear a bit about what is Norwich Movie Makers?
Norwich Movie Makers is an amateur video club. We get together every week, and the idea is that we make films. They can be dramas, documentaries, and little features on items of local interest.
And how long's the group been going for?
Many, many years, since the 60s. It started off with cinefilm without sound, then cinefilm with sound, and then more recently onto videotape, and now onto high definition.
Do you have some sort of members who are sort of, real ale type film purists who still like using the film and splicing it together, or are they all on video now?
Absolutely, there are some who still very much hanker after those days, but I think now all the people who actually make films do it on either videotape or indeed memory card these days. And
so let's go to Terry. How did you become involved in the group?
Well, I'm in my 75th year now, and of course when I started it was just after the war. That's the last war, World War, I must emphasise. And I sold my train set, which I was really sorry to do in a sense, and bought my first film movie camera, which was a 9.5 gauge, they called it in those days. Then gradually moved on to 16mm, did some time at Goldsmiths College in London learning filmmaking, but then of course film got more and more expensive and more difficult to have processed and to edit and so on, and I was quite pleased to see VHS come in first, and moved on from there to what is today quite an easy and simple system to use. You don't have to worry about processing. Your editing is done on a computer, and you have your sound and your titles and all that at hand. So life is much easier now than it was with film. And I would say a lot cheaper too, although people throw their arms up and say, gosh, cameras are expensive. It's the running of the camera and the producing of the film which actually costs you very, very little indeed.
So, Paul, what sort of activities do the Norwich Movie Makers get up to?
All kinds of things. We have film showing evenings, we have competitions, we have all sorts of competitions. That actually is the reason for today's event.
Yes, the Treasure Quest film.
Yes.
How did that come about then?
Well, we threw down a challenge to the club to produce a 5-minute film, and the theme for that was Out and About. And I was listening to the radio one morning and I thought, Treasure Quest, that sounds like they're out and about quite a lot. A few phone calls and emails later and we got it all arranged. And first attempt was in fact 2 weeks ago.
Yes, it was arranged for 2 weeks ago, which was snowed off, unfortunately.
Yes, absolutely. So the weather beat us on that one, but we came back today. It's a lovely weather, lovely clear blue skies. And we've been chasing around after Becky and Ian since fairly early hours this morning. And we've had a very good morning. It's been thoroughly enjoyable.
So you managed to keep up with them in the radio car?
Just about, yes. A few U-turns.
Yes, especially at Clipsby. They were going up and down the road trying to find the right place. So, and you running around after them. The last location, Becky was running down a hill by the stone. Were you running after her with the cameras?
Absolutely. It was just like the original one with
Annika Rice.
Rice.
And they used to follow her around when she was in the helicopter. So was it as you expected being out and about, or did it differ from what you thought it was going to be like?
I think it was pretty much what I expected. Yes, there was certainly all the sort of drama and everything all built up at the end as we could see the time ticking away. Will they make it, won't they, And then we came running down the steps and there was the boat.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. And did you know what sort of other subjects people have been choosing for Out and About in Norfolk for their other films?
Not yet, no. I think we wanted to be a bit of a surprise.
So you'll come together and have a show.
Hopefully there will be enough to give us a good evening of watching other people's films. Subjects are always a problem, and if anybody listening to this programme feels that they'd like to have a film made of anything, now this doesn't have to be a drama, it could be part of their life or it could be what they do, we're more than interested to have a go, and we do it just for the fun of it. We're not going to say to people, we need a lot of money for this, we do it just for the fun. So any ideas we'd be delighted to have.
I didn't realise until I was looking at your website the other day, the Norwich Movie Makers website, and I've actually seen one of your films because a while ago we had a clue, we had a treasure in fact, a couple of years ago now, at the Faunce Industrial Steam Museum. And the
Right.
chap who runs the Steam Museum actually,
Francis.
he gave me a copy of this DVD which is made about the Steam Museum, and I didn't click until I saw it on the website. You guys actually made that.
That's right.
Quite right, yes. We spent a long time at the Fawcett Steam Museum. Dr. Francis is a real character and is so knowledgeable about all the engines. And it was a relatively simple thing to make, really, because we just put a mic on him and let him just do his thing. And he gave us a wonderful commentary about the history of the engines and so on. And it made a very interesting souvenir DVD.
So, what kind of sort of age range have you got in the Movie Makers? Is it mostly older people, or do you have some younger guys in there as well?
All ages, really.
Well, yeah, we could do with a few younger ones, some ideas. I mean, the old boy's still stuck in the 30, 40 years ago, as I am. But we're getting a few more in, 1, 2 new guys coming from university, and with some modern approaches to filmmaking, which is exactly what we want. So, again, anybody listening, please come along and join our club.
Yes, and
as you say, Paul, it's on the website. Anybody can look at it under Norwich Movie Makers.
What is the website address?
Well, it's
www.norwichmoviemakers.co.uk.
And I'm sure if you just put that into Google or search anywhere, you'll probably come up with
we'll
Norwich
find
Movie
that,
Makers as the top result. Well, thank you very much for making it the film about Treasure Quest. I look forward very much to seeing the finished result. Although I did see, I saw a little clip that you sent me at the beginning bit with me in it, and I just thought, oh, that's ghastly. I look awful. Just because after a few years working in radio, I'm kind of used to hearing my own voice, which a lot of people don't like when they first hear their own voices. I've kind of become accustomed to that now, but actually seeing myself move and speak with it as other people say, I thought it looks like I look like a schoolboy who's won a competition to come and work in a radio station for a week. I just thought, oh, dearie me. But well, thank you very much for working on the
Thank
film,
you, Paul.
and I look forward to seeing the finished result.
Thank you for all your
hope
help.
you enjoyed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bobby Love.